Making a cargo pocket has never been this easy. If you want to learn how to make a cargo pocket, watch this video to the end, like, share and subscribe to my channel. But first, let me start by introducing myself. Hi, my name is Lilian of Lilian's Fashion Lounge, and I talk about everything fashion, pattern drafting, online and physical tutoring, and many more. So let's get started. To make a cargo pocket, you are going to be needing at least eight square shapes of material. For this one, I'm going to be using a 12 inches length and 7 inches width material, and on the side I'm going to be using a 2 inches width fabric and I think 11 inches fabric. So this one is going to serve as the side, the inner side. Now if you don't want it to have joining, like I did here, you can decide to measure 14 to 15 inches for the width, then you can use 10 to 12 inches for the length, so that it is going to be you're not going to be having any seam. So after doing that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to sew the side of my trouser. Now I'm going to be sewing both sides. After sewing both sides, I'm going to mark my knee length. So after marking my knee length, don't forget that when sewing your cargo pocket, you're going to be using your knee to get the first pocket. Your first cargo pocket is supposed to be around your knee. Then you can decide whether you want it to be the second one to be above your knee or below your knee. But for this one, it is going to be above my knee. Don't forget that the trouser is going to be having another pocket around the waist side. So this one is going to be for I see it as it's going to be like a style. It's going to add more style to the trouser. So after doing that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to join the 2 inches width wide material to the big material, and I'll be sewing it on 1/2 inch. After sewing on 1/2 inch, then I'm going to go ahead and top stitch it. Now when you are sewing, when you are not joining, all you just have to do is you divide your pocket by 2, then you mark 2 inches from 2.5 inches from the edges, from both edges, 2.5 inches on the one side and 2.5 inches on the other side. Then you top stitch it like this on where you marked. So after sewing it on 1/2 inch, the next thing you're going to be doing is to top stitch it on. You're going to be tossing it on 1.5 or 0.1. So if you decide not to have, if you don't want to have joining, what you're going to do is you're going to measure 2.5 inches on each side and you mark it. Then you top stitch it as seen on both sides. So after doing that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to fold the upper part of my fabric where my pocket is going to be. Of course, you're going to fold it to make it neater. If you feel my own is a little bit small, that is because my fabric is the length is not as wide as I want it to be, as long as I want it to be. You can decide to make yours 1.5 inch, which is actually the normal measurement for folding any fabric. So after doing that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to open up my seam at the side. Don't forget that we've already marked where it is going to be. Then I'm going to be placing it, and then the next thing I'm going to be doing is to measure the middle. Now the reason I'm doing that is because so that it's going to be aligning, so it is not going to be, it's going to be straight on the trouser. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be folding it on 1/2 inch. Then on the other side too, I'll be folding it as seen on 1/2 inch also. So I'm going to go ahead and sew on 1/2 inch. I'm going to go ahead and sew it down as seen. So after sewing the lower part of the pocket, I'm going to sew the side. Now don't forget that the side we added 2.5 inches. So the 1/2 inch is for folding, while the 2 inch there is for the overlapping. So I'm going to be folding the side on 1/2 inch also. And as you can see here, I'm trying to place the pocket of my trouser to make it align. This is very, very important, because if you don't do this, it is possible that your pocket might not be straight as it's supposed to be. It might be one-sided. So after sewing the side, the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sewing the other side of my pocket. Now as you can see, I'm going to be arranging them. I'm going to be arranging the side in order for it to not move. Then I'll be pinning it down. So for the other side, just like I did for this side, that's how I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to be folding on 1/2 inch. Then I'll be sewing. I'll first of all sew all of them at once on the edge. Then I'm going to sew only the lower part. Don't forget, you're not sewing the place that you top stitch. You're only sewing the lower part, the folded parts on the fabric, on the trouser fabric. Now we're going to move to the pocket cover. Now to sew the pocket cover, I'm going to be using the measurement I use for my pocket, which is 7 to 9 inches. Then I'm going to be sewing it on each side. So after sewing it on each side, I'm going to measure 1 inch on each side, and I'm going to mark it. So from there, I'm going to be sewing it. I'm going to be sewing like a V-shaped pocket. So you just watch how I'm going to do it. So from the edge, I'm going to sew it to the middle, to the tip of the middle, then back to the 1 inch. So after doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is, of course, I'm going to cut out the excess fabric. Then I'm going to be turning it, and I'll take it to my ironing table and iron it. Don't forget that you're going to be top stitching it. You're going to be top stitching it to make it neat before ironing. So after ironing, I'm going to place it. Now to place it, I'm just going to go ahead and place it above my pocket, as you can see me do here. Then make sure that it is at the middle. Then you're going to be pinning it down. Then after sewing, you go ahead to top stitch it. So I'm going to be top stitching it here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the lower part. So I'm just going to show you how I did that. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions for me, please leave it down in the comment section. I'm going to be replying. See you guys in the next one. Bye.